So it is the 30th of June, the last day of June, before we get into Camp NaNoWriMo, and you most definitely saw the title, right? I am going to plot, basically, the rest of my story so that I can be done with it by the end of July. I made this idea it had to be at least a week and a half ago. And so my thing is that I had something in the back of my head say, hey, if you want to get this done by the end of July, you need to not really write out scenes, but you need to write down the points of what's going to happen, what you'd like to happen. I kind of went, yeah, that's plotting, and no. Okay. And then a couple of days after that, it was like, hey, you need to, if you really want to get this done, you should probably write out what things you want to happen. Okay. I am always one of those people who am amazed constantly by my characters and which directions that they go. With this book, I had like a dirt path for them that they should follow, but it was really, rough patch, dirt path kind of thing. And there were a couple of places where I didn't want my main character to go because I was just being lazy with it. So the example was world building. I can come up with characters for days. World building, on the other hand, is something that is a little bit harder for me. Because it's a little bit harder, I wanted to go through history, but I didn't want to go through all the history. I didn't want to come up with names for other communities. I didn't want to have to draw out, the map and have all of the communities, and boy, but did she make me do that. But that's okay. At that point, there was no going back. There was no way to edit it out, and it made sense in the end. I'm not going to say she was right. It just made the story better. So now, because of this new thing that I want to do, I'm at the end. I am down to the final 4. The final 3 are essentially like right around the corner. The one girl is homesick and she's gonna, they're gonna throw a party for her and she'll leave that day. So that's all taken care of. I obviously know who the final 3 are. I know what's gonna happen at the end, and now I just need to put in between what's happening right now, which is the morning before the party. It was basically the main character had told this girl, okay, I know you're homesick. I know that while it was a good idea that we had our families here, you couldn't hack it. It happens, so just stick it out for breakfast, and if you still don't want to give it the old college try, and if you don't feel that you want to be here anymore, then we'll throw a party at lunch, and then you can leave right after, and that'll be cool. So I'm the morning of that to that was a good thought in my head. Anyway, that's for book 2, so I'm not gonna say anything about that. But I have to get from the morning of the party to the end. So doing that isn't going to be very hard. It's just I want to finish it by the end of July, so that I will have time in August, whenever Ember goes back to school, to sit down and actually read it and go through it and everything. So yeah, it is insanely bright out here, and I have my sunglasses, but I didn't want to, have my sunglasses on while I talk to you. So yeah, I'm at Panera right now. You can. And because today is Sunday, I am going to eat brunch, really, because I haven't had breakfast. I'm going to eat at Panera, spend some time there, watch some outlining videos. Not really to make sure that I'm doing it right, because it doesn't really matter how I do it. Nobody else is going to see it. I did a little bit of it yesterday while Kate and friends were doing their live. So I just need to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. I may even write a little bit today. If I get done before, like, I'm not saying I have to be done by July. What I'm trying to go for is, I hope to be done by July. If I get it done before then, that's cool. If I have maybe a couple more pages to write, so 1,000-ish words to write, that's cool too. Because I know that in reading it over and everything, because I have to put more stuff in. I already know that there are problems in there, so it's going to be more words, but I'm not putting them in now. But anyway, if I can just get it done, that would be great. I'm gonna go to Panera, get something to eat, and stare at my computer until 3-ish. That's 4 hours. It's 4 hours of me staring at the computer. I think I can do this. Okay, so it is Monday, and to anybody who owns a Monday start planner, has it been just so pleasing? Just so pleasing to see that Monday starts like right on the first, and you don't have to wait till like the middle of the week or Tuesday or Wednesday. Oh my gosh. It's aesthetically pleasing. Anyway, yesterday, just to recap, yesterday I went to Panera and worked on the outline for the rest of the book. I wrote down 5 scenes that I really want to do. Now keep in mind, I haven't watched anybody outline. I figured that for me it's just things that I want to happen written down in a row. I wrote down a whole bunch of notes, big scenes that need to happen before the book ends. I also have to get 2 people that aren't really friends to sort of be friends, just so that it all works out. And I wrote on the back kind of how they go about doing that. One of the girls almost throws up because she's in the garden and the dirt's squishy, and yeah. Anyway, and she also screams because there are bugs and a worm. I'm kind of excited about that. So anyway, I have it all kind of written down right here, and it's just getting from that point to the next point to the next point, all those spaces that are in between, trying to figure that out. I basically don't want the rest of my drafts to just be a rewrite of the whole thing, I guess. I know that that's not it, but I don't want to fix a whole bunch of stuff in my other drafts. That's kind of where I'm going at. I have my alarm set on my watch for 7 o'clock every morning, so that means that I had my alarm went off, and I immediately shut it off. And because my dog's down here by my feet, and of course Copper was up on the bed, so I immediately started snuggling with him for a good 15 minutes, because, puppies need belly rubs and snuggles and nose boops and kisses and, yeah, ear rubs. Yeah. So, got up. I have laundry going. I just put the the sheets, the actual fitted sheets back on the bed. So now I'm doing the blankets. Yeah, I'm feeling quite productive today, and I realized that it's not going to be whenever you I have a line right here. Anyway, but whenever I we'll go with me instead of you. Whenever I start having a really good day, and of course it's on a Monday, I always get worried that it's gonna, kick me in the butt later. So I'm trying to make today like the best day that I can, really. So I got up a little after 7. I made sure that, I did my usual stuff in the morning. I'm definitely going on with the things that I said that need to get done in order for you to write properly. I have a video that I'll link to that. I'm basically doing all the things that I need to do. I didn't eat a breakfast just because I wasn't hungry, but I do think that I'm going to hard boil some eggs for later on. So I realized that there's a glare right here, but it's not like glaring in my eye. So it's just let me see. Yeah, it's the glare from, yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. That's what you're going to get. It's where I'm comfiest, is right here. Comfiest, most comfortable. Anyway, so I'm getting all of the major chores out of the way because laundry does take a long time. It's not like I'm going outside and, planting the stuff against rocks, but washing and drying in general takes, I think, an hour and a half. We'll say 3 hours for one complete set of things. For washing, it takes an hour and a half. For drying, it takes an hour and a half. So, yeah. And then, of course, I have 2 blankets, and he's got 1, so it's basically an all-day event, really. So if I can get it done all in one day, that's great. Now, I didn't write it on here. Where did I write it? Oh, so I wrote it in my bullet journal, the stuff that I need to do. I didn't really write anything out in my happy planner for today. I'm still kind of working out how to use that. So what I'm gonna do is point down so that you guys can see how things are going today. This is basically my spread so far for this week, and of course where this little guy is, I got him at Christian Designs. Where this little guy is where I know that my actual journal writing starts. I need to get more into that because I really only have, 60, yeah, I really only have 58 pages for 3 months, and that's crazy. So anyway, what I put on here is 3 squares and then sheets because it's basically wash, dry, and then put them back on the bed. Clothes are the same thing. Because of my husband's work, especially in the summertime, he gets sweaty and nasty. He works with really big tires, so not semi-tires, but he works with it's called OTR, or over the road, so it's like excavators and mining vehicles that are just huge tires. It's what he works with. So he gets sweaty and nasty during the day, and his clothes need to be washed. So I did my other goal in order to actually complete Camp NaNoWriMo is to do word sprints that are Monday through Friday, and it's basically an hour of sprints. So it is 15 on, 5 off, 15 on, 5 off. So that makes 20, 40, right? 20, 40, 60, 80. No, 20, 40, 60, sorry. So that's 3 15s, basically. And that's what I did earlier this morning. So I'm going to write those in. 359, 349, and 215, which right down here makes 923. So I have already gone over, I'm gonna put a star, because I have already gone over my my whole thing where I need to at least do 500 words, which is great. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stop here, because my whole thing is to have word sprints there, and then basically catch up during, you know, during Saturday and Sunday if I need to, or if I want to do more word sprints, then I will. This is what it was whenever I ended on yesterday on the 30th, and I tried to get it at a decent, you know, not at some goofy number. So this is where, obviously this is the goal, but that doesn't mean that I stop there, unless, you know, it's the end of the book. But I didn't want to push myself, because I feel no need to push myself. I know what I'm doing. I'm not making a new novel that I need to finish. Like, I don't have a deadline to finish this other than the end of the year, but that's not the point. So by the end of the week, or by Sunday, on the 7th, this is how many words that I need to have, and I think that I'm doing pretty good. I could easily get over half of that today and be done, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna be done just because I had set a word count. That is the only thing that I know really how to count quantifiably. Is that the right word? This is just what works well for me. So I have that. Now, I have 4 more scenes, and I'm not going to show you the outline just because it gives so much away. But I have, basically the final 3 are going to, here, let me flip this back around to me. Okay, so basically I have some, I have at least, obviously, 4 major scenes that need to happen before the end of the book, before it's done, and then I can start revising and editing and stuff like that. Basically, as easily as I can put this without giving anything away, the one girl has left. She was homesick. That's just, it's what happens. You miss your family, so she had a nice send-off with some hiccups, because that's just how that works. There needs to be a little bit of hiccup at the end of this. So I have to have basically tea time with the queen, and that just shows the queen how many, you know, what basically to discuss the final 3. That's all that they're doing. They're just, you guys are the last 3, and this is how well that you've grown. This is what you need to improve. This is how you're going to improve it if you so want. That kind of thing. And then there's another little hiccup in there. And it basically all of the hiccups basically boil down to where one of those 3 girls is going to just basically verbally puke up everything that she did. She's going to tell the main character all of the things that she did to get there, and it's just, I think that it's an easy expectancy. I'm not, you know, I'm not holding your hand and telling you at the beginning, watch out for this girl because she's not what she seems. But you sort of get the hint, and then you really get the hint whenever it's into the final 3, because she wants to win, and there's no other way around it, really. But anyway, it's basically, she starts telling the main character this whole thing, everything that she's done, and she's monologuing, basically. It's going to be a long, it might be like a whole page of her just blah, all of it. And then she gets caught. She gets caught about in the middle of it, where she's telling Fawn everything that happens, or everything that she's done. She gets caught in a bad way. But they don't imprison her like in the dungeon or anything. I don't even think that the place has a dungeon. I didn't draw one in, so there's no dungeon. But yeah, it's basically she's guarded in her room until the final 3, until it's actually revealed to the public who what happens. It's revealed to the public like, these are the final 3, but this is the one that's being crowned, and then, you know, all of the rest of the stuff. And so they already know about a week beforehand. The final 2 already know about a week beforehand who's getting it and everything, and by this time they're a lot friendlier. And of course, you know, as all of these happen, anybody who becomes, like, anybody in this trope, I guess, is that the right word? You know what's gonna happen, basically, or you think you know. So these last 2 people know for about a week what they're doing, and just so that they can get over it, so it's not a big shock, so they can write a speech if they want. And then for the last scene, I don't know, to be honest with you, if I want the coronation in the second book, because I'm not sure of it yet, and it's something that I still have to work out, because it's a big thing. But there are some other things in the second book that I need to cover in order for everything to work out the way that I want it to. And yeah, so I still have some things to work out, and obviously I have really 3 more scenes until that end scene, and even then I can still sort of revise it and edit it and add to it after I'm done with the first draft. So that's where I'm at for today. I will keep you guys updated every day. If you didn't see, on Wednesday, I'll be gone all day. I have to drive into Austin. That is a 4.5-hour drive where we're going for the wedding. So that is, that's going to be an all-day thing. And which I'm very happy that, that Jolene's getting married. But, yeah, the things that I do for my friends, right? So that's another reason why I'm working on writing more now. I also... Ember and I will be going to Michigan the 19th through the 23rd. We're just going back to visit friends and family, to see my stepdad and my mom, which I know that we saw them all last month and the month before, but, you know, just to see them in the summer and before Ember goes to kindergarten, because they're up in Michigan. So yeah, we're just getting some stuff. I'm giving myself that allowance to, in case I have days where I don't want to write, I have the time to do that. Now again, just because I have the 500 words and do a word sprint, do an hour word sprint, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna get down on myself, because it's just in the end, it is a fictitious thing. And if you start beating yourself up, then you're gonna start hating yourself. And I have really until the end of the year to get the first draft done. That's just how that works. So I have really 3 or 4 more big scenes, and that might take 4, 5, 6,000 more words, maybe. I realize that the way that works isn't gonna pan out with this, but you figure I either put 12,000, yeah, 12,000 words or the end. So even if it's 6,000 words, it still works because it's or the end, if that makes sense. So anyway, I will keep you guys updated. I hope that your first day is going well. Make sure to, if you want, just tell me how it went with you guys. How did your week go? Are you meeting your expectations, or are you kind of like the? Because I know that at the end of the week, people are gonna be like, yeah, this was fun. So let me know, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Okay, so I can't remember what I recorded last Sunday, and I'm not going to watch it over again. Basically, I've got all of my stuff lined out over here so that I can tell you guys the numbers. Today is Friday the 5th, and basically I'm well over my goal. As you know, I basically try to do at least 500 words a day, only because it's summertime. I've got a child here until August 14th. Not that I'm counting down days or anything. 5 more weeks. Not that I'm counting down or anything. So, I was hopefully getting to be able to write around 2,500 words. I am actually at 3,122 words, which is awesome. I have 2 of the 5 major plot points done, and I'll have another 2 done fairly quickly, I guess. There's one right after the other. There's gonna be basically the queen had already in my story, which is down below you. It was the dog hitting the thing. So anyway, I already have, they've already done all of their stuff. The queen actually said, hey, tomorrow afternoon we're gonna have tea, we're gonna discuss all of this stuff, so that we can discuss everything, get everything done a little bit farther, you know, all of that. And then I have the one girl who's been doing all of the bad stuff very recently. She's already done 2 things, just to try to weed everybody out, which is horrible. But I have to have her admit to the main character basically everything. She's gonna monologue. It's gonna be great. But yeah, she's gonna tell her everything, and the queen is gonna walk in and catch her, and it's gonna be fantastic. Because the queen's gonna queenie on her, basically. So yeah, that's, and then the third one is just to wrap it all up, to get it all figured out. I don't know if I know what I want for the next book, but I don't know if I'm gonna put the coronation in this book just because of what's supposed to happen in book number 2. So I might have it after. There are a lot of things that have to go on in order for me to get to where I want to be in book 2, and that would, yeah, quite sure how to do it yet, which I need to figure out soon. I know that Sunday, so in 2 days, I'll be going back to Panera, and I'll be able to write stuff out, and hopefully I won't have the problem that I had last weekend. So yeah, I'm ahead of my writing goal. I've got 3 at least major plot points left. Yeah, I'm really excited about what's to come. I'm really thinking that I'm gonna get this done by the time that July is over with. I've got 4 more weeks left. Well, 3.5 really more weeks left. So yeah, if it's not done, it'll be really close, and I'm really excited about it and relieved, because I didn't think that I would ever get to this point. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. I don't think that I would ever complete an actual book, like a thing outside of school, outside of high school or college or anything like that. I've never really written anything this big after that. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Everything's going pretty good here, and I will update you again next week.